Can y'all hear? Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Hey, Johnny Mac. Hey, Patrice. Okay, I'll turn this off now. Okay, I had just left off here and I was checking some things out, and this really ticked me off. You know that guy that breached the Capitol thing? If you look at the thumbnail, you'll see him with his zip ties, and they have recordings of him threatening to kidnap and kill people in the Capitol, the congressmen and women and the senators. Hi, Patricia Ellington, Truth Slayer, hi, and Johnny Mac, Patrice, hi. And you know, the FBI, they got all kind of tips and they found him, arrested him, and I'm thinking, okay, good, we're safe from people like him. And then the woman who directed traffic and stole Nancy Pelosi's laptop, okay, she got arrested too. But guess what? She got released, with an ankle monitor to the custody of her mother. And this guy, you see all those guns on the thumbnail? You see all those guns? They found those after he was arrested with rounds and rounds and rounds of ammunition. He brought guns with him to the Capitol. He came with his mother. Guess what? He got released today. And guess what? The judge said, well, he's respectful of law enforcement, so he doesn't pose a threat. And I said, what? What? I don't know if any of y'all know about this when this happened before, but this young man got another, black young man got 20 years for stealing pizza. There's another black man right now in prison for 30 years for stealing $9. Okay? He's never been let out of prison. And yet they let these two go like that, coddling them. And that is white privilege. We can't deny it. This man, they have recordings of him. They've got all of his social media posts. Let's go there and let's kill him and take him and kill him and hang him and do all this kind of stuff. And his mother was there with him. And yet they released him to the custody of his mother. All right? And yet people say, well, why are you outraged at the justice system? Because it sucks. That's why. It really sucks. And when you talk about people playing on our faces, they are playing in our faces. And I'm like, this judge said that, and he let him go. He can cut that thing off of the ankle monitor thing off. And then they say, oh, and another requirement is that they don't come to Washington, D.C., or don't go to Washington, D.C. But they can go wreak havoc all across the rest of the country. It's absurd, absolutely absurd and insulting that would be so blatant as to their dual system of justice. There's two systems here. And like people were saying initially, if that had been black people in the Capitol, it would have been a massacre. I believe that. They would have started, well, they wouldn't have got that close anyway. Okay, because when they had the Black Lives Matter protest, they were 3 deep on the Capitol steps and everywhere else. And yet, these people, no, he's not the one who had to have organic food, Patricia Ellington. This is the one that had the zip ties. Look on my look at the thumbnail. And he had the zip ties and he had all this. He was the scariest person there to me because he had all of this top-notch military stuff on. And then they go in and they find all of these guns and all of this rhetoric that he's been saying and all of this ammunition. He doesn't pose a threat. So, and people wonder why we get upset with the inequalities of the justice system. They wonder why we march. They wonder why, you know, we the football guy gets on his knee. They're offended by that, but they're not offended by this guy and that young lady. That's espionage. That's treason. What she was trying to do, sell that laptop to the Russians, and her boyfriend told them he turned her in and he told them what she was planning to do with the laptop. And it's absolutely absurd. And I don't know about anybody else, but before the night's over, I'm going to send an email to my senators, both of them, and my congressmen and congresswomen, and let them know how I feel about it. Because if you don't say anything about it, then nothing gets done. And believe you me, when they get something in writing, and I'll tell you what somebody told me a long, long time ago, you send one letter, they treat it as if you're writing on behalf of the other 100 people who didn't write a letter. It has an impact. But I'm outraged at this, you know. And everybody talk about my outrage. Yeah, damn right, I'm outraged, you know. Well, what you say, Patrice, March, I did enough. Oh, I'm going to put this on there. Yeah, and we can write the White House and the Attorney General and everybody else because this is ridiculous, you know? And these are judges that are doing this. Judge absolutely, you know, um, but I think that we should, if you have a mind to, write your senator, your congressman, send an email to them, send an email to the White House. Joe Biden's on Twitter, okay, and send him a tweet or whatever. But this is really, like I said, they're playing in our faces. And I know too many people who, you read about get arrested and they're held without bail. Okay, these people shouldn't even have bail. They pose a threat to the country. Period. You just wrote regarding this, Patrice. Okay. But anyway, you all, I wanted to alert you to this that's going on. And I thought I saw Johnny. Oh yeah, there you are. Hi, Johnny Mac. Um, I just saw this and I just had to say something and it just ticks me off because we have too many people that are in prison that are innocent. They can't get out on their own recognizance. I don't know, Truth Slayer saying, I'm not sure. Um, the threat itself was sufficient. They built a gallows out there and talking about hang Pence. And then they got those zip ties. They admit they came in there to take Nancy Pelosi and those other people and Pence and whoever else into custody and kill them. You know, so I really think this is something, and I don't write them people a lot, but when I do, I mean what I say. And I'm going to write them a nice little email all of them, tonight, and I'm going to tell them what I feel about it. And I'm going to write the Attorney General's office, and I'm going to suggest that they appeal the release of that person, because that guy that had his feet on the desk, the judge released him. But the attorney, the what do you call those people? The federal attorneys, they appealed it, and he's back into custody. But if no one speaks, about it, if it just let it slide on by, it'll keep happening. So, what you say, Patrice? Hostages are going to turn it. Really? I didn't know. I didn't even hear about that. I didn't hear about that. But it's just too much. It's too much going on like this, and that's where I can't have anybody else do it, but I personally draw the line when they play in my face like that. Okay, because I'm sorry, this is unacceptable. And honestly and truthfully, I think they should have been held without bond because they still pose a threat. So anyway, that's what I wanted. I know you follow it too, Patricia Ellington. I know you keep on top of all of this stuff as well. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm really, it's absurd. What did you say? What about the gas, Patrice? What did you say? Wait a minute. Was this the same guy? The zip tie guy? That's a shame. How can you expect people who are out there, and they're doing their little crimes too, but how can you expect people to respect the law that are already breaking the law when they see something like this? Where is their encouragement to stop doing what they're doing? And those are the people that are watching saying, uh-huh. And they just keep on doing what they're doing because, it's a personal choice. But still, you know, what about the people who are innocent in prison? What about that young man who got arrested for stealing a backpack? They said he did. He said he was innocent. He never had a trial. I think he was in prison in Rikers Island for 3 years, and he committed suicide. So tell me that, don't tell me that there's not a double system of justice and white privilege does not exist. But I think that's something every black person has to admit that it does exist. And we have to speak up when we see it and say something about it. And not so much for us, but hold them to the same standard. But if you're not going to hold them to the same standard, hold us to the same standard. When black and brown people get arrested, release them to their mamas too. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. What are you saying, Patricia? I know you saw that a senator tried to go on the floor of Congress with a gun. Yeah, and it's against the law to go on the floor of Congress with a gun. So they're just fining them. They said, well, it's a $5,000 fine. Well, they make so much money for doing nothing, they don't care about the $5,000. But there should be consequences if it's against the law. Let them know. But yeah, I saw that. It wasn't just a senator, it was Patricia Ellington, it was two congressmen as well. You know, let's see. Patricia Ellington, you said that was one, or just signed executive order. I don't know which one he signed so many, Patrice. Which order did he sign yesterday? because I can't keep up with them. It's too many executive orders. Of course, they should be expelled. And they pulling this. Well, they weren't really doing anything wrong. Like I said, if black people had gotten that far, first of all, if they saw us coming, if they saw us coming, you don't think they would have got those fighter jets to scramble? It would have been a massacre, and they wouldn't be no bail. They would, pose a threat. So to the congresswoman, yeah, exactly. You're right, Johnny Mac. You're right. It is discouraging, but there's something within us. We want to believe. We want to believe, and every time we turn around, oh, that's not for you. That's for them. And I don't know, but it's very, very frustrating. Let me do this. If anybody has some thoughts on this, you can come up here and say something about it if you like. But yeah, that really got to me. I was just getting ready to get back to watching my program I'm watching. Executive order about discrimination with other racial laws apply. Well, we've been had that, Patrice, but it still don't apply. But when they let them go like this, okay, when they let them go like this and just say, "Go ahead, you cool," you know, it's not the law. The law is supposed to apply to everyone, but when they go before a judge, that judge is responsible as to what happens to that person, releasing them. Oh, really? I didn't know that either. I didn't know that either. Patricia Ellington. Oh, really? I didn't know that either. I didn't know that. Turn it. Put your thing on mute. Patricia Ellington. I mean, I didn't know that. Turn it. Put your. Okay. Can you? All right. Go ahead. Can't hear you, hon. Unmute yourself, Patrice. And I'll look and see. Unmute yourself. You're right about that, Patricia Ellington. I mean, Truslayer. I'm sorry. Unmute yourself. Patrice? Oh, you're
Yes,
still muted, hon. Okay,
yeah.
good.
No, he signed that order.
Patrice?
Yes.
You're still muted, hon. Okay, good.
No, he signed that order.
Patrice?
Yes.
You're still muted, hon. Okay, good.
No, he signed that order.
Patrice? You're still muted, hon.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, good. What'd you say, Patrice? Never mind. You sound like me trying to get these computers and all this stuff together. But yeah, it was never meant for us to be equal, but we have fought and marched and got laws for us to be equal. But this is not even about our equality. Like I said, they're playing in our faces, absolutely playing in our faces by allowing these people to do things and then just slap them on the wrist. You know? Okay, Truth Slayer,
Hey, can you hear me?
can't hear you.
You
Yeah,
can or
now I
you
can hear
can't?
you.
Okay, I'm on my phone. I'm not on my phone.
CAN.
So I don't know if the sound is good on my phone.
Yeah, now I can.
Okay.
We can hear you. Can everybody hear her? I can hear her. Go ahead, Truth Slayer.
Oh, I was scrolling by and I saw that and I agree with you. I'm amazed that these people are actually making bail for what they did. That
Yeah, I agree.
one after the other one making bail. And the woman that that had just been sworn in from Colorado. I think her name is Lauren Bohart. That's the one that gave up Nancy Pelosi's, uh, where she was, that she wasn't with them.
Right.
I know that she was banned from Twitter. I don't know about the other people, but I did find out there are other sites that even though what's the name of that site where they were going at and they took it off because I went over there. Damn it. They have other sites now that they're all meeting on. All of these
Hmm.
white extremists, nationalists, and it's dangerous. And I made a comment, and I truly mean this. Unfortunately, I mean you were right. We do want to have. We want to hope. We want to hope that everything is equal and that everything, we want that, and
Right.
we should. But the truth is, this country was never meant for us to be equal because it was meant for us to, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, what is it? If we weren't even considered, what was it, 3/5, 1/5, a person in the Constitution until that was amended, it was never meant for people of color to be equal. Because if
Right.
you're equal, that's, and it's been proven by generation after generation. And the sad part is we've elected our first black president and he was reelected. But it never was meant for us to be equal.
No.
Because one thing about it, in my opinion, if you, as for as a white person, if you were taught that you're better than that black original person from your grandfather generations, that's instilled in you. You don't want to share the same amount
Well,
of pay. You don't want it.
it's instilled in you, but what's discouraging is that when something like this happens,
Hmm.
you know, and they're proving them right. They're saying, yes, you're better. Okay. You have we have a different standard from you. We have a lower bar for you to meet. And even though it's instilled in them, you know, we can't do anything about that. But then the judge says he doesn't pose a threat because he was respectful to law enforcement.
Hmm. That's basically like spitting in our face. Spitting. But you know what?
Yeah,
That the good thing is though that it's actually being seen, and you have more white people, and they're seeing it now. It's like unfortunately, I think it took when George Floyd was literally killed on television that
yeah,
you have woke up because they're saying that they're
yeah,
even saying when you hear them saying if that would have been Black Lives Matter or black people, it would have been just what you said, a massacre. You have white people saying
yeah.
that.
And
Now,
I'm speaking now specifically though to the justice system, the
hmm,
judicial system, and the way they respond to us based upon um, a race. Okay,
right?
that's what I'm I'm fine because They can believe what they got a right to believe what they want to believe. They can
Mm-hmm.
believe they're better than us. They can believe they're whatever they want to believe, all those racist ideas. But when they cross a line, don't treat them differently when they go into court. When they break a law, treat them the same way. And it's not about having a good attorney because that's common sense. No
Mm-hmm.
way. But the other guy, they did appeal it. The federal attorney appealed that guy that had his feet up on the desk, and he did appeal it. And um, he's back in custody. But I think it's because people are writing and expressing their outrage. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so sit down, money. I don't even know if that's the only thing that seems to matter. But you can't get people to not do that, Patrice. They just won't do it. We've tried that. Now back in the day, you remember when we did a boycott and that sort of thing, when they did a boycott, it worked. Absolutely worked. But now you can't get enough people to stick to it and really do it. But I agree that would be a good way to get it done.
But don't
So
you
does
think
anybody
that?
else want to come? Does anyone else want to come up and join and have something to say about it? Patricia said that my playback is jacked, so she's not coming back. Patricia
Well, Miss Ray
Ellington,
Allen, Miss Ray Allen, don't you think that
I'm here.
you don't even have outrage with the GOP senators that were in the building or the congressmen? They're downplaying it. So
Well,
if they were more out,
they don't want to
they're
lose that
downplaying.
base that they have. You know, that's what that is.
I think though that affect. I think that affects even the judicial system because they are victims. They are victims, but they're not even. They don't have that same level of outrage that you could have been killed. And if they did, if all of those members that was in that chamber was outraged, I think that the judges would not be it would be different. I believe that
Yeah,
you wouldn't be seeing all this bail.
I think well, yeah. But see, then they say it's three branches of government, and you know, they go to that, and they really can't interfere, but they do have judicial oversight committees and that sort of thing.
Hmm.
They can apply pressure and community pressure to these judges because, unlike the Supreme Court, a lot of these judges are elected. Now, the federal court, I don't know. I think
They're
they're
appointed.
appointed. Yeah, they're appointed. But I don't know. It's just frustrating. And then to see all the other things that we see, and then to see this. I mean, I just can't. I was in just disbelief. And someone might say, well, why were you in disbelief? Because they're openly playing in the face of other citizens of this country. Okay, you know, um, yeah, I'm going to be upset about it. Yeah,
But it
because
gets worse
this,
and worse. This outrage to me, I mean,
yeah,
you
she
letting
is very, yeah.
these people are getting
Patricia,
bail.
yeah,
You have,
exactly.
you have members of the military. What was it? 12 of the National Guard that was vetted and they had to be kicked out. That was supposed to be
Yeah,
guard. It's like it just keep getting worse and worse. What?
yeah.
Okay, how
Listen,
deep does this go?
let me respond to what Patrice is saying because she's saying AOC is very vocal, and yes, she is, and that's why they're so against her because she calls them out on it and she calls it like she sees it. Okay, so she is very vocal, and she will say something where others will cower. But anyway, you all, I'm going to let you all go. I'm going to get back to doing what I was doing. I was catching up on my news for the day and everything. And I just said, wait a minute, is this for real? So thank you for coming up, True Slayer. And everyone else.
Thank you for letting me, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, well,
Y'all
thank
have a
you
good night,
for your input. Thank you for your
Mr.
input,
Johnny
hon.
Mac.
Huh? What did she say? Johnny Mac? She on my Twitter. Yeah, tweet her too. Tweet her too. Let's see. What did you just say? Yeah, tweet her too. It's not showing now. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, everyone. Well, you all have a good evening. I just wanted to come on here and speak my piece about that. And, you know, give you something to think about. Hopefully, some of you and whoever hears it on the replay will indeed send an email to their elected representative um, and express your concern about this happening. Okay, everyone, have a good night. I'm not gonna watch no more news. I'm gonna start getting like D. If I don't watch the news and I won't know about it, I won't get outraged, right? Okay, have a good one. Oh, Johnny Mac, did you want to come up and say something about it? Let me see. Did you want to come up? Did you say you got a phone call? I don't know if that means you wanted to come up or that you didn't want to come up. Hi, DMW. No. Oh, you know, he didn't say. Look at what John Mack said when I asked him if he wanted to come up and say something. He wasn't delicate about it at all. He didn't say not tonight or maybe another time. He just said no. You too heated? Yeah, yeah. Well, it's something to be heated about, hon. It really is. It's something to be heated about. And, I can't pretend that I'm not. Um, you know, I'm not going to spray glitter all over the place and say, oh, the world is wonderful. No, it's not. But like I said, they're playing in our faces, and I don't appreciate it. And I am going to write somebody, which is what I do when something really um, strikes a nerve. And I will write them. And at least my senators and Congress people are responsive. But I'm going to send an email to the White House and to the AG's office and suggest that they appeal this. But this guy, like I said, when I saw him in the picture, him to me, he was the scariest guy there with the zip ties. I mean, I would never want to see him nowhere. So anyway, everyone, you all have a great evening. And like I said, I'm gonna get like D Ramsey. I may stop watching the news because it's frustrating and it gets me heated up and gets me upset. And I just probably should stop. So I'll stop after I send out my emails. Okay, everyone, calm down, Johnny Mac. Send that letter, that email. Good night.